So can you tell us what TCS is showcasing at this year's 2013 CTI show?
Well, Jeff, let me just give you a quick overview of the couple of things that we're focusing on. There's really two main areas, and both of them are in the security domain. The first one's our cybersecurity infrastructure, as well as our experience in terms of working with the government and doing training, bringing information in terms of how networks are being penetrated. And so we've made a couple of announcements as to how we're providing that in the commercial domain. And then the second one is our secure enterprise messaging gateway. So what we've done is we've been in the messaging business for over a decade, building SMSs, building enterprise gateways. We're now actually taking that to the next level, and we're adding in a fairly high level of security, both for government customers and for enterprise customers, and we're also taking that up into the cloud. So really we've had a lot of success and a lot of customers coming in and talking about our security in both of those domains. And then of course the third area that we're really focusing on in this show is our navigation and telematics, moving from the carriers into the OEM market, building upon our BlackBerry announcement and moving now with other customers both in the automotive space as well as in the handset space. So it's been a very good show for us so far.
Can you talk a little bit about the trends in messaging? It seems like messaging companies are more central to carriers in terms of understanding customers' behavior, understanding where they are, what they're doing. Can you talk about some of the trends that you see over the next 12 to 18 months?
Absolutely. So if I look at the last 12 to 18 months, there are a number of trends in the consumer domain where we talked a lot about how SMS was moving into the OTT, where you had instant messaging. WhatsApp being a good example of that, Facebook, etc., providing their own instant messaging, iMessaging, etc. And now, for the first time, we've seen over-the-top messaging really take a really strong play. However, where all the action is right now is in the enterprise domain. And here, enterprises are thinking about how do they avoid getting trade secrets or proprietary information put out on what is an open network. So we're starting to help them in terms of how they can think through sending messages out, which is what our secure enterprise messaging gateway is. And so the next 12 to 18 months is going to be more about how you can control devices from an enterprise point of view, how you can, you bring your BYODs in, but you bring the right applications, so workforce locator type applications, messaging locator type applications. So I think the trends are going to be a lot more in productivity and collaboration, and using messaging as a tool for those segments to be able to get as much as you can out of your workforce.
Where are the leverage points for TCS in terms of where your product set is today and where your product set's going that you can kind of leverage some of those trends?
I think where we are today is we're a leader within the messaging domain within the carrier space. We now are expanding that leadership into the enterprise messaging gateway domain for our for the over the top, but also through carriers. And one of the great assets TCS has is we're carrier grade. We ensure messages get through. We provide delivery receipts. We ensure that those vital, secure messages or even mission critical messages get through both in the government domain as well as in the enterprise domain. So I think we're at the forefront of some of that, of some of the trends. And one of the things that I think you will find is you've got messages that are in people to people, application to people, and now M2M. And our fastest growth area is actually M2M messages. We've seen 30% growth year on year of message flow just within the enterprise domain. The majority of that is actually M2M.
Can you be more specific? Well, help me understand when you say MDM, what exactly do you mean?
It's machine to machine. So it could be a device that's connected in a telematics domain. It could be a device that's connected in a telemetry domain. Smart grids are a very good example of how fast messages are being connected in a wireless mode. So you used to have messages being connected via cellular networks, and you still do. Great growth path. But you also now have messages being connected via Wi-Fi. So any systems that are in the market has to have the ability to be able to manage flows that are coming from old paging systems, because there are a lot of paging systems that are still out there. Have to have the ability to manage SS7 or the SMSs that are coming out from a normal handset where there may be no LTE. Have to have the ability to connect to LTE. Have to have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. And possibly, I think in the future, very shortly, you'll start seeing connections coming from Bluetooth as well.
Keith, thanks for your time.
Jeff, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
It's good.